Good morning. My name is Betty Franklin. I'm a volunteer with the Cotton Museum here in Greenville, Texas, and I'm really excited today. I'm interviewing Miss Susie Smith, a beautician in the community. Miss Smith, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. Tell me, how long have you been a beautician?
I started doing hair in 1991.
Would you like to just tell me your history?
Okay, as I began to start doing hair, I used to do my pastor's wife hair all the time. And she was very tender-headed, but as I would do her hair, she asked me, she said, why don't you go to school to be a beautician? And I said, I don't think I can do it. And she said, yes, you can. And so after we talked for a length of time, and I went home and I thought about it, and because I used to do my daughter's hair all the time, I used to do all of my friends' hair all the time, and so I just decided I was going to give it a try. So I got online and found different, what are those? Oh gosh. I found different things to help me with it. So I just decided, hey, I'm gonna do this. And so I started doing hair, started going to school in 1989, I believe it was. And when I got out, it was like 1990. And around I was working part-time. I started working at Regis Hairstylist when the mall was in Greenville. And Katie was my first supervisor. She hired me in, and she told me it was a little white boy. He was 2 years old. And she told me, she said, if you could cut his hair, she said, you're hired. And I looked at him, and because he was screaming and hollering, and I was so afraid that I wasn't going to be able to stand the noise, because I wanted to knock him upside the head. But he still cried, but I got through the haircut, and I did a good haircut, and she hired me on the spot.
Wow.
And I worked at Regis for, I think, 4 years to 1996. And then that's when I started doing booth rental on my own.
Okay. Then tell me some of your experiences.
Oh gosh. I started off at Regis, and Regis was a white salon. And I didn't know how to do a pixie haircut. There was a little old lady come in, and she said, I want a pixie. And I went in the back and I asked her, I said, what is a darn pixie? And this Mexican guy that worked with me, he pulled me in his face and he showed me how to do a pixie just by telling me.
Wow.
And every time I would look off, he would say, look, pay attention and listen. And as he did that, in my mind, I memorized how he told me how to cut the pixie.
Wow.
And I did it. And when I went to YouTube, when I got to where I start going to YouTube and learning how to do haircuts from there, I cut it exactly like they told me on how to do it.
So you had a variety of experiences.
I had a variety. I would sit and watch white hairstylists, how they would cut, and I would watch Katie, how she would cut, and I would go to YouTube and learn. There's so many ways that you can just learn how to do it. So I picked up everything I could learn from everybody to learn how to do it.
So it's like a challenge. You took on the challenge.
I took it on and I handled it.
That is wonderful. Now, over the years, you said 1989 when you first went to college, to beauty school. Over the years, how have styles changed? How have people's attitude changed?
Oh gosh, they've changed so much. usually, you know, black people would come in and they would mainly get curls and relaxers. And then it got to the point to where they start wanting to get braids. Extensions took over. And everybody wanted extensions. Everybody wanted braids. Then it got to the point everybody wanted dreadlocks. So you had to keep up with the style in order to know how to do what they wanted. And when I learned about YouTube, that was my go-to thing. Anything I need to learn, I would go to YouTube and learn how to do that style. There were sometimes I might have to do a style the next day, and I would get on YouTube that night and study how to do it.
Wow.
And it would wind up being close to it.
Now, you mentioned dreadlocks. Tell me how that process works.
It works on natural hair. Your hair is natural, no perm whatsoever. The nappier the hair, the better it is. And you can use gel or lock gel to and a comb. It's a all-purpose comb, but it has the little bitty end, and you just twist the hair until it twists into little twists. And then after a month or two, it start locking, and it grows out. And as it grows out, you come back and you retwist the roots again.
Wow.
Every 2 to 3 months.
That is so interesting, because I've seen dreadlocks. Now, let's stay with that area, because I heard people say dreadlocks is in, and mostly men's are wearing them.
Yes.
So do you get a lot of male customers?
I do. Over the years, I've gotten male customers. I don't get as many right now, but I have male customers from back in the 90s. That's hair that's down their back now. And I have women customers also that do the dreadlocks. But most of the men's let theirs lock rather than the women's.
Okay.
Sometimes women get tired of theirs and they don't want to lock them. So they'll wash them out and then they'll come back with something different.
It's just like it has evolved. I mean, in the 60s, it was straightened hair and perms.
Yes.
And then in the 70s, started with the curls. So the styles have changed so much.
So much.
Which is your favorite? Do you have a favorite style?
I love doing sew-ins. And this is extension hair. And because of most of black women, through the years, for some reason, they don't have long hair. And they want long hair. So how can I get this look? And we can sew it in or bond it in with glue, whatever. I mean, we can accomplish it. If you want it, we can accomplish it. But we find a way to do it.
Now with the sew in and the glue in, I know back like 20 years ago, sometimes it would take out your hair because people would get so anxious and they'll pull it out.
Yes.
Has that improved?
It has. Now they have what you call, it's a protective shield glue that you can use. And it slicks the hair down and you get up under the dryer and it makes it real hard. And once it get real hard, then you glue the hair on. And as you get ready to take the hair out, it's not going to harm the hair at all.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So you have a shield now to keep it from breaking. But I still don't like the glue as much. I rather sew in and use braid hair to sew the hair in. And that way it'll protect your hair also.
Okay. And that's what's going on, because I know a lot of African American women, we have damaged hair.
Damaged.
Yes.
Because they put perms on it. And as they use relaxers, some people want to relax their hair every 2 or 3 weeks. And that's too soon.
Yes.
You do relaxers anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks out. And if you got good hair, it wouldn't hurt to go 2 months with doing it.
Yeah.
You know. But that's...
You mentioned the word good hair. Give me some description how you view that.
Good hair, well, it's really no good hair or bad hair. But the thing it is, when I say good hair, that means that the hair is conditioned, it's well taken care of. They come to the beauty shop often. And when you come to the beauty shop often and you got a beautician that loves to do hot oil treatments, and on my customers, I do lots of hot oil treatments. I tell them at least twice a month they need to come in, or at least once a month, for a good hot oil treatment. And that would keep the chemicals from damaging your hair so much.
Okay,
and it helps your hair.
Okay, that is wonderful to know. I wrote down hot oil treatment because I don't know if people use hot oil treatment as often as they should.
A lot of the younger beauticians don't.
Okay.
You know, they want to come in and do the style and make the money, but you got to also care about the hair underneath there.
Okay.
And even as you do a sew-in, that's why I recommend a sew-in more so than a glue, because with a sew-in, you can come in, you can still get hot oil treatments. You could come in and get your hair shampooed and you know, and it helps keep the hair going good.
Oh, okay. I think about the sew-in because the styles are so beautiful, and I feel like it enhances the feel good.
It do.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, then also attitudes, because a lot of times women are depressed, and we're talking about how to make them feel good. Let's cover the depression real quick. Do you see a lot of that right now?
So much.
Okay.
I have women that I know. I do a lot of giving back, and I know who I am, and I know what I can do to make your hair look good. But I try to keep it at a minimum because we have a lot of people that's on fixed income, and I try to work with those people. And then there's people that I know. I'll grab them and I say, come to the shop and let me do your hair. And I'm not charging them for doing it, but I just want to make them feel good about themselves because some of them I know, and I know they're depressed. I know they're going through life challenges, and
Susie, I have noticed over the months with the COVID-19, a lot of people have displayed depression and a lot of anxiety. Are you seeing that in your business?
So much. There are so many people that they complain about not having enough money to do what they need to do with because of the depression. A lot of them jobs was taken away, and they don't have the money to do even what they wanted to do. And at the beginning of the COVID, there was many black people that was calling to find out why even doing hair wasn't essential. Is it? I guess that's it. And so it was just hard on the people because a lot of women don't do their own hair, and they didn't have the money during COVID to get their hair done. So most of them were just getting it braided up. So yes, I saw a lot of depression during the COVID time.
Yeah, and the business were closed for several months. I'm thinking at least 6 months or something.
Yes, our business closed down in March. And I think we didn't open back up till like May. We were able to open back up. So we were closed down for like 3 months.
Oh, okay.
And one of my cousins, she kept calling and said, "Can I come to your house and get my hair done?" And I began to tell her no, because I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah. So it's like they needed this therapy.
They needed it. And a lot of times when women get their hair done, they feel good about themselves because that's a part of them looking good and feeling good about themselves.
I know as a kid, I know a lot of conversations went on in the beauty shop. So are they still coming in and you're the therapist like too as well?
Yes. There used to be a lot of gossiping, but that depends on the beauty shop that you go to. But when a lot of women come here, we talk a lot about what's going on TV and what's going on in the world. And even sometimes we have a group of church women here and we start singing it.
It's wonderful.
But we just enjoy one another's company. And it's therapy in being in the beauty shop with women of color that is going somewhere in life. And so it makes another woman feel good to get up under there so we can lift each other up. And that's the main thing that we don't do enough of, is lift each other up. Yes. And I think women of colors are not only women of color, all women or all people should always lift each other up. And that would help through the time that we're going through now. And I know everybody is going through depression. Everybody's going through a hard time. But we have to remember through all of this to trust God. Yes. Because when we trust God, He's going to do the rest. And I believe that.
You said the women's are going through a lot. How do they express that to you?
Some of them, they just break down and start crying. And there are some that they talk about what they're going through. And, you know, and it's like they're looking for an answer. But I give them Jesus because He's the only one that's going to help us through it. And I know a lot of women don't really know about the Lord. And then there's some that do know that God is a miracle worker. And back during my younger years, I didn't trust God as I needed to, but I learned as I went through things to trust God because He was the only one that got me through what I went through. So God helped me in that area, and I was able to help other women and tell them about God and what God can do and who He is. Some people don't know who God is. And when you know who God is, God will help you through anything. It's just a matter of talking to Him, like we're sitting here talking to each other.
You know, I can feel the love right now. It's like it's therapy and coming together.
Yes.
Yeah, on one accord. Yes. Also, while we're talking about knowing God and making women feeling good, tell me some experiences you have that you have encouraged women.
There has been women that have come to me. In matter of fact, there's a woman that came to me as she was coming in the shop. Her boyfriend was out yelling at her, saying stuff wrong to her, cussing her out. And she was just trying to get in the shop. And I just began to tell her, baby, you don't need that in your life. You're too old for that. You know, and I just kind of encouraged them to do better for themselves. And to get a better life and to just really trust God with your needs. I said, we don't need nobody talking to us like that or treating us like that. But
you sound so well grounded. Is that any area you feel like you need to grow in?
Well, I guess in a way to I just want to be better in doing hair. I want to learn everything I can learn. I want to know how to do whatever it is someone asks me. And there's braids. There's a certain type of braids they have out now. I would like to be better in it.
Okay.
But I don't like doing braids a whole lot anymore because, you know, like I say, people don't want to pay for what you do. So
yeah.
I can grow in those areas.
Okay, that is so good because it's like you're willing to take on a challenge. Now, a new person coming in the business, what advice would you give that new person?
About the hair?
Yes.
Okay. First I would sit down and I would look at the hair and I would let them know what need to be done. And if they're asking for a certain style, I'll let them know if their hair is, let's see, what can I say? I would ask them if their hair, you know, I would let them know if their hair is in shape enough to be able to do this. And if I don't feel like their hair is in good shape, I won't do the style.
See, that's wonderful.
And I won't just try to make money on people. But you have to make sure that their hair is in the right shape in order to do what they need to do with it.
Okay, that is so good because it sounds like you totally care.
I care.
Do you feel your current location here because I know this building because been around a long time. Does it meet the needs of the people in the community?
It really do. I used to work downtown Greenville, and I also work at Great Clips at a white shop to where I do haircuts all day long. And but here there's a lot of people that's in the neighborhood and they're glad I'm here because it's within walking distance.
Yes.
And it's, you know, they can get here easier. You know, and a lot of time the older women, they don't drive.
Right.
So I go pick them up.
That's wonderful. That is such a blessing. Wow. You know what? It's just I'm hearing you giving back to the community. It's
I
what
try.
I'm hearing. Yeah.
I really do.
What a blessing. And Susie, I have to ask you about the equipment. I look over and I see the different curling irons over there. Would you just describe how the use of some of the curling equipment?
Okay. I have little pencil curling irons. And it's for teeny bitty short hair. And it shows you how to curl really short hair. And I have from this size curling iron to, let's see, wait a minute. This size curling iron.
Wow.
And this is for longer hair, and this is for real short hair. And it curls any type hair that you want. And these curling irons, they're heated on the old-fashioned stove, and it gives more heat because Black Americans' hair is more curlier than white hair, and it holds more heat. So this type curling iron is really good. And this is a flat iron.
Okay, yes.
To where we flat iron the hair, do the silk press and all that stuff, and then it helps it also.
Okay. And the straightening comb. That I remember the old-fashioned.
Yes, we still have the straightening. This is old school.
And you still...
When people don't want to get relaxers or chemicals on their hair, we use the straightening comb for old school. So,
what I'm hearing is you have the equipment to meet all the needs.
All the needs. We also have... sorry. We also have clippers to meet the men's needs. They come in and get haircuts, and we have the trimmers to edge up. So we meet all needs.
Oh, wonderful.
Black, white, Hispanic, chocolate. We meet all needs.
Okay.
We don't have no certain colors, no certain race. I do all hair.
That is fantastic. And I'm looking behind you again, looking at the products. Has the products changed over the years?
It has gotten better during the years. So much better. They have better shine products for the hair. And Mazzani is one of my go-to. It's a oil sheen for the hair. And it makes the hair so pretty and shiny. And you know, women, they want their hair pretty and shiny when they leave out of the beauty shop.
Yes.
Because they want to be able to flow back and forth.
This has been a wonderful interview. I'm going to let you summarize it. How can you view your 30 years and how does that impact your life?
30 years of doing hair, it has really been an experience for me, because as I grew, I started off at the white shop, and now I have my own shop, but I also work at a white shop, which is Great Clips here in Greenville. And so I do hair there, I do policeman's hair as well, and just being in the beauty shop, talking to people, being around people that some of them have problems, and sometimes I have problems, and they're able to meet my needs, because you know, when you're dealing with a lot of people and you're around a lot of people, they can help you out and let you know where things at in Greenville, things that you need to know. You know, it's just nice being a people person and being around people, talking to people. So it has really impacted my life, and it's like a therapy to me. And I love to talk anyway, so it just helps me, you know. And when I see a person that's going through something, it's just my pleasure to help. You know, and I be wanting to step in and do what I can do to help.
What a blessing.
So I love that. So doing hair is just a blessing.
Yes. Thank you so much for the interview. It has been a pleasure for me. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was so much.